What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic CM. It's episode number 80 and we're starting today's episode off officially entering the final month of football in the calendar year. Yes, May has arrived and we begin with a academy update for our two players in the youth squad right now. And also look at our fixtures for May as well, and all I'm saying is this: thank God the title is basically wrapped up, because talk about your tough ends to the season, man. Our three final games are all away against the Red Devils, Manchester City and our North London rival Spurs. Throw in the FA Cup final against Liverpool at the end of the season, the second leg of our Champions League semi-final tie at home to Borussia Dortmund, and Southampton at home to begin the month of May off as well. It's safe to say that, yeah, I'm pretty pleased to know that heading into the first game of the Final Four in the Premier League, if we would win this one against Ralph Hasenhüttl's Southampton side, we would be Premier League champions. Sorry, Manchester United, Manchester City and Spurs all away from home in the final three games. Ludicrous, and a big reason why I was so pleased to see us get back to winning ways in the Premier League and go on that nice winning run to extend the gap on us and our closest title rivals. So yeah, for the first of three games in today's episode and the first one of May as well, it would indeed be the Saints here in North London. They get a chance to win the title. A win would mathematically secure it with 3 games to go. And I thought, right, with those final 3 games coming, all very difficult indeed, I want this wrapped up today in front of our home fans. Just 5 minutes in, we took the very early lead. The Colombian, Luis Suarez, giving us the opening goal of the game. And then 21 minutes, he's rolled through once again. Ball rolls around Mafio, holds it up, and there is the run of Emil Smith-Rowe. And it seems like whenever he scored, I go on some monologue about how I don't ever give this guy the praise, when clearly I do, because I always mention how good he is after he scores a goal. But points to the name on the back of the shirt, he makes it 2-0, and 26 minutes in, a chance to make it 3. Bukayo Saka plays a 1-2 with Boubacar Kamara, storms down the right, and Alberto Moreno so far out of position here for the Saints, and I was thinking, this is like deja vu. I remember this guy being like that in the Liverpool years. He was always so far up the pitch, and fair play, I know that fullbacks nowadays are basically secondary wingers a lot of the time in the systems they're asked to play in as wing-backs primarily. But even so, Moreno so far out of position there, playing catch-up. And as we know, the Spaniard is so quick, but as is Bukayo Saka. We got ourselves our third goal there, Smith-Rowe's second, and we were 3-0 up inside the first half an hour. So there was me thinking, just don't choke it. Don't choke it, this final 3 games. Of course, that was going to happen here against Southampton in our final game at the Emirates Stadium this season. 3-0 up and 3-0 become 4 as well. Luis Suarez gets a brace alongside Smith-Rowe as well. And also, real briefly, is it just me? But I find it so hard to celebrate with the manager or the substitutes on the sidelines nowadays in FIFA. It never used to be this difficult for me. Just run towards them and there we go. They celebrate together. But now, I don't know why. And I think it is sometimes like stadium specific as well. Like the Emirates, for example, it seems to take an absolute age to reach where the substitutes might be. And I rarely see them warming up nowadays as well. And also the manager too. But either way, Suarez made it 4. That would do it. Had a couple of chances for some late goals to make it 5 and 6. But in the end, 4-0 was how the game will finish. And there it is. Premier League champions Arsenal. Absolutely buzzing as well, because first Premier League title to save. It's taken 6 seasons to do it. And again, you know, the emphasis of this save, as I've mentioned before, is, you know, primarily on the realism aspect as opposed to the trophies. So, you know, when we're making our progression, I want it to make it, you know, happen, or I want it to, well, hopefully make it happen at a realistic rate of progress. So when you look at the team we've assembled here, in the first season, it would have been like, you know, ridiculously unrealistic for us to challenge for the title. Last season, yeah, you know, we certainly could make a claim to do that, as we did end up finishing in 3rd place. But this season, when you look at the team we've got and the depth to our side as well, I'd say now we're probably the best team in England. I'd say that. Won the domestic cup double last season. We're going for the FA Cup final at the end of the campaign against Liverpool, as we know. And again, when you look at the team, but also the squad of players we've got and the depth we've got in all our positions, I would say we've probably now become the best team in England. So winning the Premier League is definitely in the realms of realism. At least I certainly think so. I said before, you know, when it comes down to realism, obviously a lot of it is subjective, because you just can't predict football. It's one of the reasons we love the sport. And, you know, I always go back to this point, everyone does, but, you know, who on earth could have predicted Leicester City winning a 2015-2016 Premier League title? Hence why realism is just so hard to, you know, sort of determine as you're going through the seasons in a career mode save. But I would say, again, based on the team we've built, this third season with Arsenal, definitely based on the squad we've assembled and the way we've done it and the realistic rate of progression, to win the title is more than realistic, because we are definitely, I would say now, the best team in England. Yes, you know, I mentioned last season how Man City and Liverpool, you would say, were probably a notch above us in terms of the quality of the team, but I think this year we made like massive steps forward in improving the quality of depth, and also bringing in a couple of star power players as well, none better of course than Jan Oblak, our goalkeeper, who's made a world of difference to this team. So yeah, Premier League in the bag. It seemed like it was in the bag around Christmas time when we had that double-digit lead. Had a little bit of a slump in December and also January and a bit of February as well, but now it's over. We've won it. The Premier League is ours to go along with the domestic cup double we won last season, and finally the first Premier League title of the save. Still 42nd of 3 games of today's episode here. We couldn't celebrate the title for very long because on Wednesday night we had the second leg of the Champions League semi-final against Borussia Dortmund, where we lost 2-0 in Germany, which meant heading into this game, the one thing we couldn't do was afford to concede an away goal. 14 minutes in, we conceded an away goal. Dortmund went in front through Neuhaus. Oh, their attacking quality in this team is unbelievable. I was talking about how good our team was a moment ago there. The amount of amazing offensive pieces Dortmund have got is just ridiculous at this point in the save, and you can see why I struggled so much in Germany and why I went a goal down so early onto this game. But despite going a goal down and now needing 4, I thought, you know what, we've got great attacking pieces ourselves. But in the end, it was Kieran Tierney that scored our leveller on the night right from kickoff to make it 1-1. And I'm the sort of guy that just never gives up no matter what. Like, I will always fight and always push. I'll rarely ever throw in the towel. So whilst I knew the scope of the challenge was so difficult, I was going to keep on going and do everything I could to get back in the game and back in the tie. But again, Dortmund's offense was just slicing through my defense like a hot knife through butter. Jadon Sancho's still there in the game, makes it 2-1. After a great ball through by Haaland, I think it was, as Dortmund get themselves back in front. And I was thinking, again, I'll keep going, I'll keep pushing, I'm not going to take all my starters off it, I'll keep on going for it. But unfortunately, I just couldn't get going in the second half. We had a couple of chances in the first half, but in the second only really had the one. 8 minutes to go, Luis Suarez makes it 2-2. Gets us back on level terms on the night, but still down by 2 goals in the tie. And due to the away goal rule, it needed 3 in 8 minutes. And like I said, whilst I'll never give up, sadly, I just couldn't find those chances. Final score on the night in North London, Arsenal 2, Dortmund 2, and that is it. We are out of the Champions League in the final. Thought it will be a Dortmund versus Liverpool final after the Reds beat Atletico on away goals. And real briefly on this as well, what do you guys make of the fact that away goals are going to get scrapped now in European ties? Now, I'll be honest here, I've always been in favour of the away goal ruling, as I do believe home advantage plays a really big effect, psychologically more than anything. And I know for those of you that watch my FM show, thinking, here we go again, another rant about the mental aspects of the game of football. But I've always believed that the home advantage plays such a significant effect. But what do you guys think about the away goals rule being scrapped? I think a lot of people have been saying for a while now, for quite a few years, it is outdated, and due to preparation and, you know, flight times and accommodation being nothing like it used to be way back in the day, if you will, you know, there's not as much of an advantage playing at home in Europe as there used to be, and you're not as much of a disadvantage as you used to be in years and decades gone prior. So what do you guys think about the away goal rule being scrapped? It's interesting, if nothing else. It's definitely worth a go. Whether it comes back in the future, I don't know, but it'll be exciting to see that change. I think it's from next season onwards, or is it this season? I can't remember now, to see the away goal rule being scrapped in European ties. Anyway, for the third and final game of today's episode here, on the back of exiting the Champions League in the semi-finals, whilst there's nothing to play for now and the Premier League title is wrapped up, we will take on the Red Devils at Old Trafford, and honestly, I just wanted to make a statement heading into this game here. Yes, we may not be the best team in Europe and the best team in the world yet, but I tell you what, I mentioned it earlier in the game against Southampton. I think we are now the best team in the country, and I wanted to prove this. The Red Devils have been our closest title threat for the second half of the season, after Spurs fell off the pace a little bit. So heading to Old Trafford here, not needing a result, but wanting it, I was really relentless in this game. And in the second half, Suarez got goal number 20 and Smith Rowe got goal number 15. By the way, that through ball by Josh Da Silva, oh, talk about inch perfection. And the finish as well from Smith Rowe for goal number 15, absolutely brilliant. And in stoppage time, I love this little clip here as well. Ben Godfrey makes a great challenge, and then he's on the floor with his opponent, yet he hustles to win it first, even when he was face down on the floor. Rolls it through to Bukayo Saka, our number 7, who makes it 3-0 Arsenal in the Northwest. And again, this is a game where there was nothing to play for, but I wanted to make a statement. We're the best team in England, and I wanted to prove it here. Even with nothing to play for, away against second place in the table, I wanted a big win, and we got it as well. 3-0 Old Trafford, and there you guys can see 89 points on the board, 13 clear of the Red Devils. I'd love to get to 95 points and end up with the best goal scoring and defensive record in the division, and we're 2 games away from doing that against Man City and Spurs. But that was this episode of the Realistic CM, guys. Big thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, if you had, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of Season 6 in the Realistic CM with our final 2 Premier League games, building up to the FA Cup final, lest we forget, very soon.